Hello there, Chai Monster. I'm Tanisha and I'm a certified tea specialist, and today I'm so excited that you're joining me on this little tidbit of information of what is a specialty tea, because we hear that name or that title thrown around quite a bit, but what really is it? So in this little episode, we are going to define, characterize, and explore a specialty tea. We have a rogue out here. I want to see how it works. You'll know what I mean in just a moment. So, according to this book that I'm reading, it is an amazing book. It's called Modern Tea. So I'm just gonna take the definition right out of here. So it says, like specialty foods, specialty teas exemplify quality, innovation, and style due to their originality, authenticity, ethnic or cultural origin, ingredients, specific processing steps, limited supply, and/or distinctive use. Simply stated, specialty tea, sometimes referred to as fine tea, is tea that is produced to have unique and exceptional qualities. And then it just goes on to describe more of what a specialty tea is. But essentially we know that specialty teas are high quality, or they are of significance because of their ethnic or cultural origins, and they are authentic, right? So that's what they are. So one of the main things about specialty tea is that they're usually fine teas, meaning that they are whole leaves. Obviously some leaves can break here and there, but more or less they're whole leaves and not like broken or crushed and all of that. Another thing is that specialty teas are usually not made in bulk. So they're how do you say it? They will change flavors and qualities year after year because of the terroir, right? So you might notice that things that you get in bulk, they have a very consistent flavor or a consistent consistency throughout years. But with specialty teas, the terroir affects the flavor and the consistency and all that. Now, an important part of terroir, as you may or may not know, is, well, obviously, first of all, what is terroir? It's the climatic conditions, so like the soil, the elevation, the weather that's been that year, how much rain it's had, what the temperatures were like, all of that stuff. So you're essentially tasting the land the tea was grown in your cup. So that's really interesting. So two really important parts of terroir that are used to determine specialty teas are elevation. So this is really important, especially in Ceylon tea or tea from Sri Lanka, because teas change a lot as elevation goes up. And then also their surroundings, like Darjeeling teas, for example. For them, the harvest time is a really important indicator of the terroir and the flavor profile. Okay, so with that, I will do a separate episode on Darjeeling tea, so I don't want to dwell too much into it, but all I'm going to say for now is, like I said, fine teas, right? Specialty teas are fine teas, they're whole leaves, and they are never in tea bags, except, hold your horses, calm down, look what I came across recently. It's a Darjeeling tea in a tea bag. What? I was like, oh my god, this is breaking all the rules of a specialty tea, because we know Darjeeling is a champion of teas. It is a specialty tea. And this one is actually a spring harvest. So spring harvest is usually harvested in mid-March, and that is the rarest of Darjeeling teas. So it's the priciest or the choicest of Darjeeling teas. So I was like, I must explore this a little more. So what I want to do today is cut this Darjeeling tea, this tea bag tea, and compare it to a loose leaf black tea, and let's see what we find. I think that'll be really interesting. Alright, so let's change this up here. Okay, so yeah, I've got my Darjeeling teas. I think now you can read it. So this is spring harvest. This is also a spring harvest. So sometimes when you're reading about Darjeeling teas, you'll notice that it says first flush or second flush. So that's because certain teas like Darjeeling and Assam teas, they're not harvested year round. They're only harvested at certain points like spring, summer, fall, and then the leaves go dormant. That's what it refers to. First flush is spring harvest, basically. Oh, it smells so nice. It smells very musty and very refreshing. Okay, so now what I'm really excited about is checking out what these Darjeeling spring tea leaves look like in a bag. Because I don't know, this was really interesting when I read that, oh, Darjeeling teas, specialty teas cannot be in tea bags because they will break. Oh, interesting though. Would you look at this? This actually, let me show you from the top. So this actually has loose leaf teas. A lot of them are crushed, but they are whole more or less. So what I want to do right now is maybe we can snip it a little bit and really see what's inside of these. Now with tea leaves, you just with tea, don't be afraid of getting like up close and personal with it. So wow, okay. Now that is a surprise because these tea leaves look pretty whole to me. Wow. Oh, it smells so nice. You can see like how they're curly and they're whole, they're not broken. Wow, so I think this would still fit into our definition of a specialty tea. I'm just gonna go ahead and put this in here. I'm gonna empty it out so we can look at it a little more closely. Get rid of that tea bag, and then I guess in our golden one we can actually add the black tea. Just gonna take a teaspoon of this and add it in here. Oh, I think that might have been a little more than a teaspoon, but that's okay. So, okay, now let's see what this looks like up close. So here is our Darjeeling tea, which is from the tea bag. Now I like the fact that it is still pretty whole leaf. Like the tea leaves are not that broken. And if you compare it with this golden one, this is from a loose leaf tea. And so both of these are Darjeelings and both of them are spring flushed. So that's interesting. I think this sort of like defies the fact that Darjeeling teas specialty teas cannot be in tea bags. Now why don't we go ahead and cup these. Now in order to cup these, I'm not doing this professionally. Maybe I'll make another video on a tea cupping exercise. Let me know if you want that in the comments. But what I'm gonna do is I just want to see overall, you know what I mean? What these look like. So I have my water boiled already. Here on the left side is the Darjeeling from the tea bag, and then on the other side we've got Darjeeling from our loose leaf. Okay, I hope you guys have a good vision of this. I'm just gonna go ahead and pour some water on it. I think it's really important to be very mindful when you're pouring water on your tea leaves. You know, like really sit with your tea leaves, really just be present with it, and that can add a lot of, that can add like a lot of beauty to your tea practice. Okay, so now when you look at it, our loose leaf tea, the color is changing really nicely. It's turned, like you see, a light greenish or almost a dirt color already, and it's the same as the tea bag color is basically the same as the loose leaf tea color. So that is so interesting. You barely notice any difference in terms of colors, and if you look at it from here, the tea leaves are pretty open in both of them. They're settling down to the base of it. There, I think you have a better visual now. Just trying to get it all right. All right, so when you, this is the tea bag tea. The aroma is a little bit fruity, it's light, but it has the muscatel aroma that is very telling of Darjeelings. To be honest, this has the exact same aroma. What? It's light, it's muscatel. Yeah, I can honestly barely tell the difference between these two. I feel like they must have been harvested from like the same tea bush around the same time. And one of them went into a tea bag, the other one went into this thing with a loose leaf tea. So that's really interesting how that worked out. Now when I take a sip of them, and I know I've not like brewed them the way it's supposed to, with the right amount of time and stuff, but right now we're just doing like an overall test. So let's start off with the tea bag. Okay, so this is the tea bag. Okay, that is pretty delicious. It is very floral and fruity at the same time. Let's look at our loose leaf tea. Honestly, I don't taste or okay, so I'm sorry, I apologize, something's up with my camera technology, so I'll just wrap it up here. But honestly, I don't really see or taste any difference between the loose leaf Darjeeling tea and the tea bag Darjeeling tea, which is so interesting. But overall, we learned that specialty teas are very authentic or creative or have cultural origins that make them significant. They can be affected by terroir. They're usually not made in bulk. And the biggest thing I learned today is don't believe everything that you see or you're told, because in this case, a Darjeeling tea from a tea bag performed just as well as a Darjeeling tea from a loose leaf batch. Alright, so thank you so much for joining. I hope you enjoy your tea today. Stay safe, stay happy, and until next time, it's a bye with a chai.